clear my throat. That's probably bad. I just ate a whole bunch of chips, so hopefully I'm not, like, hacking. It just made me want to cough right now. Okay. Alright, so this week we read Fantastic Four issue number 3, 1962, The Menace of the Miracle Man. And I like how the cover, like, advertises stuff to keep us interested. Like, don't you want to see the Fantastic Car and their secret hideout?
Yes, we do.
Definitely.
I liked the secret hideout. And a fantastic... Oh, and she made them uniforms, too.
Yeah.
So they all be wearing the same thing.
Yeah. She got to sewing.
She's got the sewing going on.
So the first part of our comic book, the four are attending a performance of the Miracle Man, who calls them out in the audience. He calls their power nothing, which at this point, I'm kind of on his side. I mean, the villains have been more impressive so far, I feel like. But of course, this pisses off the Thing, because everything pisses off the Thing. And they have a contest to break a log, which the Thing exhausts himself trying to do, and the Miracle Man slices it with one finger. The Thing says, yeah, that he's gonna punch him, and the Miracle Man's like, go ahead. And it doesn't do anything. Which sends him into another rage. I mean, if the Thing isn't raging every single panel, it's...
He has anger management issues.
He does. But once again, he gets a stretchy hug, which I'm pretty sure is enabling this behavior, because I'm pretty sure that's all he wants, is stretchy hugs.
Actually, in 1963, I think it'd be more like, get off me, dude.
Mr. Fantastic is always giving him hugs when he gets angry. I feel like it's just enabling the behavior. I don't know. They leave in the Fantastic Car, which is a hover car thing, that they park at their tower and discuss how bad it would be if the Miracle Man was a villain, and surprise, he is a villain. We get a cutaway diagram of the Fantastic Four's secret headquarters. And there's one thing that I think the Thing mentions it, that the tenants don't know they own the whole tower. Why are there tenants in this building? Why don't they own the whole building?
I don't know.
They got like a rocket in it. A missile.
Right.
Yeah.
They do own the whole building. That's kind of weird.
Yeah. So why are there tenants? Like they're like renting it out to try to recoup some of the money they lost on it.
Maybe it's probably like, it's a big tower. If you look.
Yeah, they don't show us the bottom of the tower.
They don't show us the bottom of it. It's the top of it. So they're in the top of the tower.
But like the bottom is.
But they gotta have some. They need some income to pay for the dang building and all their cool toys.
So they're landlords when they're not superheroes, fixing pipes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. They're gonna have to pay for all, and they have to make reparations for all the things they destroy. So they need some income coming in.
Yeah. All those.
Who's gonna pay for all this damage?
Yeah, all those lawsuits against them for everything they do. And I think we're finally getting like detail in the comics now. We're up to number 3.
Yeah.
And they're finally getting a little more detailed. Maybe people were asking for it. Like, give me some background. Give me something interesting to look at if this is a comic book.
Right. I really love this I love this hideout. Is like, can I have this? I would like this. Maybe not. I just have to repurpose the rooms.
Yeah. Yeah.
Repurpose them into doing, different things.
I love that they have a missile. Like,
it's a long-range passenger missile.
Oh, so it's just to shoot them across the world?
Yeah, so you just get in the missile and it will shoot you and reach any part of the world in minutes. At least they put an anti-vibration wall between the missile and the rest of the place too. I mean, that's good thinking.
See, and it's like details like that makes me angry when there's other details missing. Like, you put in a anti-vibration wall, but you couldn't, do something else. You have plot holes all over the place, but not that plot hole. You got that covered.
Yeah, I can tell you though that that anti-vibration wall just isn't gonna do a whole lot.
No, it is not. It's not. Chapter 2, The Monster Lives. The Miracle Man brings to life a giant Martian monster statue across the street from them at a movie theater. And the four see it being broadcast on television. It destroys a car and gets shot at by police, who also use a rocket launcher at it. Once again, over weaponized police force. They just carry rocket launchers with them. Okay. Mr. Fantastic informs the police it is the Miracle Man, and they give him authorization to do whatever they can to stop him.
Right. And he's declared war on the entire human race.
Yeah.
Okay.
In this one city. They search the city in their hover car that they can separate into 4 parts. Wow. Except, Johnny can fly, so he doesn't need it, but whatever. Mr. Fantastic...
But he can only fly when he's a torch. He can't fly when he's not a torch.
Yeah, I'm still there. Like, they get shot at no matter what, so I'm assuming he's still going to get shot at in this little hover car thing.
Right.
Mr. Fantastic finds the monster breaking through the wall of a jewelry store, because that's how you wipe out humanity, and tries to stop him by making himself into a human net. But the Miracle Man bonks him on the head with a brick, and he escapes. I have to say, picture-wise, the picture before Mr. Fantastic is knocked out, it looks like the brick is like he threw like a wall at him. And then in the next panel, it's just like a tiny brick laying on the ground next to his head. It's like, is his head rubbery? I feel like his head would be rubbery, right? Just bounce right off, whatever.
Right. Why isn't his head rubbery?
So, yeah.
Actually, I kind of like the crisscrossing between the windows, that, right above that.
Yeah.
Show him crisscrossed to make the net between the buildings coming out of the windows. Like, what happened to the people in the building?
Yeah.
You just blow the windows out so you can, I don't know. That's kind of like, okay, here we go.
Yeah. There is one scene when he's smashing the wall that there's 2 cops like, we gotta stop him. And the other cop goes, what does he say? He's like, stop him? How? And I'm like, finally a cop's like, we can't do anything. We can just stand here and get shot, like, murdered. Like, shooting at this thing doesn't help. I just love that one of the cops said it. Like, what do you want me? He was still firing at him, so
right.
That didn't stop him from firing at him, but at least somebody finally admitted it. Like, the police can't do anything. I don't know why they're even showing up. Like, they should just show up and set up barricades to, like, keep people back. That's about all they can do.
That's all they should be able to do.
Yeah. Like, don't shoot at things that can't be shot at.
It's not going to do any good.
Because all that's going to happen is somebody's going to catch a stray bullet and you're going to kill them. Since they're firing in cities all of the time. Anyways. The Human Torch finds him next, trying to steal an atomic tank, and melts and burns him because he is made of plastic and wood, the big monster statue. So that's important for how the story ends. Just a note there to remember in a couple of minutes. They did do like a Statue of Liberty thing in one of the panels, though, about the Human Torch was like on his hand, and he had his hand like raised up, and he's green. So he looks like the Statue of Liberty.
Right.
So I don't know what that was supposed to mean. I was just like, that looks like the Statue of Liberty. Chapter 3, The Flame That Died. So I guess we're supposed to be concerned that he got killed for a few minutes. So
the monster's not okay.
The monster's not what? Dead? They're gonna kill him.
It wasn't alive, really.
Yeah. Just as Susan and the Thing find Johnny as he destroys the monster, they hop out of their hover car, and the Thing rips his costume off that I'm sure Susan spent hours and days making for these people. I was very...
Yeah, it's kind of like, why is he ripping his suit off?
Yeah, like, she worked hard on that. I know what it takes to sew clothes. That was not easy, and you just rip it off. And the Thing is in love with her. That is not a good way to get on her good side.
Yeah, really. Like,
you just... clothes that she made you.
You just blew it, guy.
Yeah.
Just blew it.
For real.
Totally.
The soldiers fire at Johnny because I guess there are still people in this city that haven't heard of the Fantastic Four. They've been living under a rock somewhere and missed all the aliens and the mole man and whatever else has happened. Yeah. The Miracle Man shoots him with chemical foam, putting out his flame, but he still has enough to save him as he plummets to the ground. The Thing tries to catch the Miracle Man, but he causes him to sink into the ground. Susan then decides to go invisible and hop on the tank with him and informs the team by shortwave radio.
Okay.
I imagine shortwave radios are still relatively large in the 60s, so, like, I guess they have a backpack full of crap. Because they
were still using police radio. They still use police radios. They just...
everyone's carrying a radio on. And they have a flare gun. I'm just trying to figure out how much stuff they're carrying around with them every day. I think it's probably a lot.
Magic. They just appear by magic. They have, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, the radios for communicating, they would have been using radios to communicate back and forth at this time, yes.
They're probably
yeah.
Big. I'm just thinking how big they must be still. They're probably relatively large. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't do it today. Now we use cell phones.
Yeah. I love how they don't have a way to communicate like cell phones, but they like just work around it. Like a flare gun's like a cell phone. They're just like, oh yeah, that'll make sure everybody gets contacted and they get to the right location immediately.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta sit out, Yeah. That's the one thing about, honestly though, I feel sorry for kids today because they have cell phones. Their parents hand them a cell phone when they're like 10 or 8 or 10 or whatever, man. That's like an electronic leash.
Yeah. Matt is always saying for the show Seinfeld, like the entire show Seinfeld can be solved by having a cell phone. Like every one of their issues could be solved with a cell phone.
Well, where's the fun in that?
I know, right? Yeah.
But if you're a kid, you can't just go off and say, "Hey, Mom, I'll be back in a few hours," and then just go off and be gone for a few hours and come back home. Your mom's going to phone you to find out where the heck you are. Well, if you don't have a phone, you don't have a cell phone in your back pocket, Mom can't call you.
Now they can just track you on GPS. So.
Yeah, I mean, like, can't do that. Couldn't do that back in the dinosaur ages.
Yeah, they'll just assume you'll show up at home at some point.
Yeah. Well, if you didn't show up at home, you're in deep trouble.
Yeah.
If you didn't get home when you were supposed to get home, you was in deep trouble.
Chapter 4. The team has regrouped at headquarters, and we get a flashback scene of them gaining their powers. I'm assuming this is for people who didn't read issue 1 and 2.
Right.
The Thing once again rages about being ugly. I feel at this point he should be over it, and about Susan not liking him. And Johnny says it doesn't matter what he looks like, Susan isn't going to like him. Which I agree with, and he's like saying this in front of her fiance or whatever. Like, this is not cool, dude. And they get in a fight, and Johnny leaves, which once again, I don't blame him. I feel that Susan and Mr. Fantastic just enable the thing. They're all like, oh, it's not his fault. And it's like, no, it is. He needs anger management immediately. Like, this is unhealthy and also dangerous. Meanwhile, Susan has been taken to a junkyard and sees the tank being hidden in a pile of cars. But a dog smells her and reveals her to the Miracle Man, who somehow commands her to become visible and follow his orders to fire the flare, which the team sees and comes to her rescue. Once again, underutilized invisibility. I mean, slightly more utilized because she did something, but...
She was actually more effective than the other guys, but, hey.
Still didn't get anywhere.
It's not a dog. Right.
Yeah. This time, they take a helicopter. Because, I guess, having a flying car is not good enough now, and they need a helicopter. I mean, which we already knew because it was in the cut of the building. But I don't know why.
Well, actually, the helicopter
vehicles.
The helicopter would be better because the flying car thing could separate into 4 different pieces, but the helicopter you're all going to one spot. So, you know what I'm saying?
Maybe the car uses more gas, and they're just like, leave that one. The helicopter's more efficient.
Yeah, everybody's going to the same place. They're not spread out looking for something. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. And Johnny's not there. He's off at the...
Yeah, Johnny's with his friends having a milkshake.
Yeah.
And his friends all want to be part of the Fantastic Four, which is weird, I think. What are they going to do? Also, it's the Fantastic Four. There's 4 of them.
Yeah. It's not the Fantastic Five. It's the Fantastic Four. Or is it 3?
And he flies off to find Susan because he saw the flare too, and he cares about his sister, I guess. So chapter 5, which, okay, let me say something, because in all of the ones so far, there's no set pattern. This one uses chapters, the other one uses parts. Some of them don't even use it, just it moves on. Pick one and stick to it.
I think they were trying to figure out what they were going to do, how they were going to do it. Since this is the first beginning, yeah. I think they were trying to figure out what they were going to do.
So chapter 5, the Miracle Man is holding a giant key.
Right.
Why a key? Why a giant key? Why not just a piece of metal from the, what do you call it? A bumper off a car. I don't know, something. A giant key has nothing to do with anything. Whatever. It's just this is weird. Why would you select a giant key?
It's a machine gun.
But it's secretly a machine gun. Mr. Fantastic holds the thing back from attacking because he thinks it's something else, and it is. It's a machine gun. Which he shoots at Mr. Fantastic, who turns into a rubber ball and bounces around. And the thing jumps in front of him to absorb all the bullets. Okay. Once again, I am not at all impressed with Mr. Fantastic's power. The Miracle Man tries to escape in the tank, and luckily the junkyard also doubles as a storage place for vintage cars. So the 4 get in a car and race after the Miracle Man, who destroys one of their wheels. So Mr. Fantastic turns into a wheel. And at this point, I think this is the most useful of Mr. Fantastic's power so far. It legitimately does something. Yeah. Johnny finally grows tired of driving at car speed and flames ahead, blinding the Miracle Man, who's driving the atomic tank. At which point, everyone stops and Mr. Fantastic states he's no longer a threat. And finally, somebody, because this is the 3rd issue now, where Mr. Fantastic is just making blanket statements with nothing to back it up. The thing is why the fuck would you think that? You don't know anything. He just got blinded and stopped his tank. How do you know the threat's over? And Mr. Fantastic says he'll explain in a moment after he snaps Susan out of her brain fog. He then goes on to explain the Miracle Man was using hypnosis, and none of this was real. And now that he is blind, he won't be able to hypnotize people anymore. I think they got something backward there, but maybe not. I don't know. So at the very end, the Human Torch is like, I've had enough of this bullshit, and flies off. And Mr. Fantastic automatically thinks he's going to turn to crime. And and we're teased that a character whom the reader demanded be brought back will return in the next issues. And in the final pages, we get a pinup of the Human Torch.
Yeah.
So that is
like the last time we got a pinup of somebody else.
Yeah, the Thing.
The Thing, right. Mm-hmm. Now we get the Torch.
So I applaud Johnny's move leaving these guys, because they're nothing but trouble.
I was going along with this just fine, wondering how the heck, how he could have some powers. And then they came up with the hypnosis thing, and I was like, give me a break.
I know. So, he hypnotized the Fantastic Four through the TV to see the monster get changed. Then how did Johnny burn it and know it was made of materials? And then also, if he hypnotized people, why would the statue disappear from one part of town, reappear in another?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many plot holes in this with the hypnosis explanation. It's just like, oh yeah, no, I thought just made you believe that's what you saw.
Yeah.
No.
I call total BS on that. And blinding him makes him not powerful anymore.
Well, there is a thing where somebody can
look into my eyes.
Look into my eyes kind of thing. Remember
But obviously it's not an eye thing. Well, okay. Maybe he hypnotized the city at his show that everybody attended.
Yeah. Maybe put some kind of suggestion to them during that show. I don't know.
But remember, it still doesn't make any sense.
No. Remember in the Jungle Book? Oh, maybe you didn't see it. The Jungle Book. I don't know if you saw the movie from
the snake.
The snakes, and the snake's like, look into my eyes. He tries to hypnotize Mowgli or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like that. And you're getting sleepy. Yeah, sometimes there's you can hypnotize them with the eyes kind of thing. So I think that's what they're alluding to there. Mm. But a lot of it just, there's just a lot of plot holes in there.
Yeah, I was disappointed. It's unbelievable. If they had made the eye thing a focus early on, maybe in the audience, everyone look into my eyes as I perform this magic trick or something. Just
I can do this and you can't do this, and
slightly more believable, or willing to give them credit for it.
And then we go back to, and I've been thinking about this actually, the science fiction in the 60s was more fiction than fact. So, a little more incredulous from now, because we know now there's a lot of stuff we know now that we didn't know then. So now if you look back at it, you can go, yeah, that totally doesn't work. I mean, that doesn't make any dang sense. But with the amount of knowledge they had in 1962 when this was written, it's almost plausible. The hypnosis thing is almost plausible.
They seem very focused on hypnosis, because the last episode, Mr. Fantastic hypnotized those things into being cows.
Right. So it's kind of it's a new science. It was a new science at that point. Back in the Victorian ages, they used to have big things where they would have hypnotists, and they would call them mesmerizers, and they would have big teas or whatever in the society. And it was a thing. Being hypnotized was a thing, or not being hypnotized was a thing. I seem to remember when I was a kid doing something around hypnotism, and I seem to remember that being like going to a show or something, and that being there. Maybe it was at the circus. It may have been at the carnival. I don't remember. But yeah, you don't hear about it anymore.
Yeah, I actually I was part of the FFA, the Future Farmers of America, and at our national convention there was like a hypnotized show guy, and they needed volunteers to like stand at the back of the stage to make sure nobody like fell off the back of the stage. So I was like one of those volunteers. So that's the only thing that I've had in experience with hypnotists was for that show, standing at the back of the stage to make sure nobody fell off.
Right. There's actually some people who are more
susceptible.
That word, yes, thank you, to being hypnotized than others. And there's some people you can't hypnotize because they're not. You just can't do it.
Which I feel like Mr. Fantastic would be one of those people. Being like,
well, you would think so.
Super sciencey and creative, and also knowing about hypnotism because he can do it himself, which.
Right.
At what point did Mr. Fantastic figure this out? Like, just when he was blinded, or had he figured it out before then? Who knows?
Well, he said, "How did you guess?" And I think it was like, well, because,
did he say that?
What did he say? He said something about, he's never. Oh, a miracle man would not have needed to flee from us.
Or steal jewelry. Oh, okay, so he just made.
Or steal the jewelry or whatever, yeah.
He could have simply vanished or caused us to disappear forever.
Right.
I feel like he put that together at the end. Like, hindsight's 20/20 for that one. I do want to say the Miracle Man looks kind of like... I haven't seen Doctor Strange in the comics yet. I haven't read a Doctor Strange comic. But this character seems very reminiscent of a Doctor Strange character. Like, he's got the cape with the collar, and he's got, like, the facial hair like Doctor Strange. I just find it interesting. I wonder, like, how many things from before they, like, transferred over and made popular kind of stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, well, yeah, I kind of agree with that, too, because, I mean, they may just, like, take him and modify him into, Doctor Strange or whatever. Because, for some reason, the stone, the thing, I want to call him Stony. Because I think that at some point in time that becomes his nickname, as Stony or something like that. But that would be like later on. But he also really reminds me of the Hulk.
Right. He definitely has anger management issues. And I think in the future we will realize if he just remains calm, he'd turn back into his human self. So yeah. I think it's got to be coming up because he's always angry no matter what.
They just need to give him some Xanax and he'll go back to himself, right?
For real, he needs help. And Susan and Mr. Fantastic are just like blowing it off. And the Human Torch is like, he's taking it out on me, guys. I'm sick of it. So, yeah. I'm okay with the Torch leaving. It's like, yeah, go be your own superhero. Because so far, the Human Torch is my favorite. He hasn't caused, like, any damage or life-threatening instances to anybody, so he's my favorite so far. It's like, yeah, leave those other three. They're not worth it. The Mr. Fantastic's powers suck. I'm sorry, they just do.
Yeah.
There's nothing good to do with being stretchy. Except becoming a wheel of a car.
Well, he usually does some other things, but
like,
yeah, look at those old cars.
Yeah. Like, he's a parachute man. You could just wear a parachute. If you're gonna be up high in situations or fighting villains, just wear a parachute. You know, if you think you're likely to get thrown into the air.
Wear all the things.
Yeah. So, I'm not impressed. And also, he named himself Mr. Fantastic, which I'm going to hold against him for all of eternity. You can't name yourself Mr. Fantastic. It's unacceptable.
Well, you can in 1963.
When you're super full of yourself. You're like, I'm rich, and I have a lab, and people listen to me, and I'm obviously fantastic. I don't know. Not impressed. I feel Susan's still being underutilized. I feel like invisibility is a really good superpower, and just nothing happening at all.
Well, she is female, and it was 1962. And in 1962, the only occupations
women had were like secretaries.
Yeah, there was you could be a secretary, a teacher, or a nurse.
See, but I feel like even then it would tie in more. She's obviously like the intelligence gatherer of the group because she can be invisible and stand in a room and learn stuff. Like, she hasn't learned. Well, she learned where the tank was, which was like somewhat utilized, but then she is immediately caught. So it's just, I feel like she could be better utilized.
Yeah. Well, she probably is later on, like when we get into the 90s in the series.
Yeah.
In the 1990s, she would have been better utilized, but in 1962, no, they would have been. That she's even part of it's actually pretty amazing. At all.
Yeah.
Because, there's only so much you can do.
So what do you rate this one? On a scale of 1 to 10.
I can't remember what I've been rating them. This was just about the same as all the other ones, so I guess 5.
Yeah, I'm going to go with 5. I think I rated the last one 6. I like the aliens. Was that the last one?
Yeah, you like the scrolls.
The scrolls, yeah. This one, I'm not impressed. I'm very upset with the twist at the end. They did not play it out right. And like I said, if they're so concerned with details that they make an anti-vibration wall in the headquarters, they could at least throw in some kind of random clue that he hypnotized the whole city. Like, maybe that, the entire city was in attendance, or, they were broadcasting it on television. Every single person was watching. Like, something to make it more believable. There's no way he hypnotized the whole city.
Right.
Especially if it had to do with his eyes. If they want to tie it to his eyes, then they need to, show his eye. Did they show his eyes? Really bad?
Not really, no. I don't think so.
I feel like maybe one of the things had his up-close eyeballs. Nope. Okay. Maybe I'm misremembering that. Yeah, anything. Yeah, a full panel of, it focused in on his eyes for the show or something. I don't know. Something. Anything. They didn't do anything. They just literally put it at the end. It had nothing to do with the whole story.
Right. I mean, what is this,
Yeah.
Anyway.
Fail. I agree. So we're going to read issue number 4 next week.
Yeah.
And that'll be the last Fantastic Four, and then we'll move on to another superhero.
Yeah, try a different series, because they got a bunch of series, so.
Yeah. maybe move forward in time to like the 70s or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know what you want to do some more research and figure out which one you want to do. That I'll let you do it.
I'll do some research and see. Maybe a girl. Maybe a girl superhero.
I don't know if they had one in the 70s.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to do some research. I don't know what they had in the 70s.
Even the Avengers started in 1963.
Yeah. Oh, you let me know that from the last episode that the A I saw was for Avengers. You found that?
Yes, because they have in here like a guidebook.
On the Marvel Unlimited.
Yeah, on the Marvel Unlimited. If you look through the series, I could probably just hit the G. It was
I was so happy. I was like, I found like a clue. I found a little miscellaneous note in the.
Here it is. There's several guidebooks. There's the guidebook to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. If you just look in the section, the G section of when you're looking at all the series in the comics, they have several guidebooks. And which one did I look at? I actually put it in my library, but I can't get to my. I don't know why the library does not.
Yes, I have to say, Marvel Unlimited, you can put things in your library, but then you cannot access your library anywhere on the website. I'm assuming on the app you can, but I don't have room on my phone to download the app.
I can get it on my tablet.
Yeah.
I actually usually read it on my tablet, and I don't read it on the computer. But for some reason today, let me see if I can pull that up on my tablet. I was having trouble with my tablet not wanting to load up. Okay, so let's see. What do I want to do? Let's do that. Do that. Nope. Come on. Of course, now I can't get to it.
I'm looking at the cross section of their building, and they have a hidden elevator. If they own the whole tower, why does it have to be hidden? Can it just be an elevator?
Oh wait, I gotta go back to that and see.
Yeah.
I just really live with that. Why would they have a hidden elevator? Oh, so nobody can see them go up to their. Up.
So they said the tower. Maybe the tower is like the top of the. Maybe they're calling the top of the building the tower. So like.
Yeah, it looks like the top of a tower or the tower is a tall building. This looks like New York, so a tower would be a tall building, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. They tried. I'll give them points for trying, but I'm still confused. I give them points for trying. I mean, they have like an observatory at the very top, so. I'm sure not every single building in the city has an observatory at the top. So I think that kind of gives it away that it's not a normal top of a building.
Right. Oh, there's my library. Yeah, see, the tablet is so much better because it shows you.
Yeah.
So it was in History of the Marvel Universe. Is that where I read it?
There's only one more episode left of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier next week. Next week. Yep. I can't wait for Loki. I want Loki. It's gonna be so good.
I watched Guardians of the Galaxy last night, or the night before last.
That's a good one. I like that one.
That was really kind of cool. It was History of the Universe, I guess. Maybe? I don't know. Somewhere I read it, and maybe I didn't save it. No, it wasn't in here. All right, go back. This doesn't show you like what you've read before.
Yeah, I don't have any history on the website.
Anyway, yeah, I'm pretty sure that was that A was a
an Avenger A. So if it, I mean, I don't know anything else about what other comics they were writing at this time, but that was just the normal police force. The normal police force was the Avengers, or working for the Avengers. I don't know.
I don't know. It was kind of weird.
Yeah. I guess I'd have to see what other comics were published then, or if it was just, you know, once again something that they put in there that eventually they, you know, had a better idea for it and changed.
Oh, here it is. It was Guidebook to the Marvel Cinematic Universe 2015. Yeah. No, that says Marvel's Thor. Okay. But it was Guidebook to the Marvel Cinematic Universe #1.
So it went over the history of the comics.
Oh, here we are. If you look at it, it's Guidebook to the Marvel Cinematic Universe 2015 to 2017. You click on that and you'll get the first one. Somehow I found it. I don't remember how I found it.
Yeah, I pulled it up. Did you read all this? This is a lot.
No, I didn't read it. I just kind of
scrolled
through. I just scrolled through it. I just kind of like, yeah, there's a lot of information in here, man.
It's like, how did you find
Iron
that
Hawkeye?
Piece of information?
Oh man! But if you look at this guidebook, like everything you want to know about whatever our Marvel universe,
yeah,
they got it in here. There's the Avengers headquarters. Oh, the Avengers insignia is in the Avengers headquarters update. And because I'm looking on my tablet,
yeah.
Let me see if I can show you. So I'm looking on my tablet. This is what it looks like. Yep, and it's backwards.
I'm on that page, yep.
See the little A, the A?
Yep.
And it looks just like that.
The other A.
Just like the other A.
I think I found the first.
That was it's an Easter egg.
Yeah, Easter egg.
Easter
I found
egg.
the first Avengers insignia Easter egg. I'm proud of myself. Yay! I get an A+.
There it is.
Completely meaningless, but I'll take it.
So anyway, I knew I had it somewhere, and I better add it to my library so I can find it again. Well, this is why I like the app better on the tablet, because I found it by, if you go to home,
you can see your history.
You can see it says currently reading, and it says, wait a minute.
That makes me so angry because nowhere on the website can I find my history or find my library or anything. It doesn't have any of that on the website.
Yeah, see, here's what it looks like.
Yeah. It makes me angry. Why would they do that to me? Why?
You need a tablet. I don't know, can you put the app on your
I could put it on my phone, but I don't have room.
No, can you put the app on your computer?
Oh, probably not, because it's a Windows computer and they're a pain in the butt with the Windows Store. It's not an Android or Google or whatever. So probably not.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it's we should just complain to Marvel, like why doesn't this work as well as it does on the tablet?
I'm sure Marvel/Disney gives a crap.
Actually, I would just go get a tablet.
I actually have a tablet. My mom got two for Christmas. So she gave me one. I just don't use it.
Well,
I should
get it
start
out,
using it.
charge it up.
Yeah.
I actually ended up when years ago, I got a tablet when I had to get a new phone, and they gave me a tablet, free tablet. Hey, you want a free tablet? And I went, okay, I can take a free tablet. And I use it all. I use the tablet more than I use my smartphone because it's bigger, so I can find things. So it's easier to search. If you're shopping or whatever, or
Yeah.
if you're watching TV. Because my brother and I do this both. We're watching TV, like we're watching Star Trek or something, and we'll go, "Hey, isn't that the actor from so blah 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 blah?" And so then I have to look it up. And so they're like Wikipedia, and there's the guy, and find out more, and what else was he in, and
Yep. That's how we watch TV shows now. It's like, who is that? We gotta look it up and see who it is.
Stargate. Hey, who's that? She's from where? And then I still do it now. I'm looking at somebody. I go, where did I know you from?
We just started watching The Nevers on HBO. It's a Joss Whedon show. It's okay. It's not great, but there's a lot of, because it's Joss Whedon. He's got like the same actors that are in other of his shows, and I'm like, oh, I know that one. I know that one. Like, who's that one? It looks really familiar.
What is that? Are they paranormal in Victoria?
Yeah, so it's like a Victorian steampunk, that like an alien spaceship flew over the town, or maybe over the world, and they turned people. So people who are turned have super powers of some kind.
Is it set in London?
Maybe.
Or is it set in America?
No. They've all got like British accents. It's got to be London, because one of them has an American accent and it's been commented on. And then another scene was like the rich lady, her son was like falling in love with one of the turned, and she goes, "You can't marry a turned, and also she's Irish. You can't give our name to an Irish person," or something like that. It was like, okay. So it must
bigotry.
Yeah, it must be like London or Great Britain or something that they're in.
There's a lot of tension between the British and the Irish.
Yeah, still to this day.
Well, at least they stopped fighting in 98, I think is when they... 98, I think, is when they finally had the peace. I just like suddenly realized, hey, they're not fighting each other anymore, and there's no more. They're not blowing each other up anymore.
I just read a thing on Reddit that there was a recent like protest riot in Ireland about it again. So I don't think it's as settled as us Americans think it is, or how much our media covers it.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
I'm not informed about a lot of the world. I probably should be.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So next week we've got issue number 4 of the Fantastic Four, and some character is gonna make a comeback. Who
will it be?
That we asked for.
Who will it be?
The Mole Man?
I read the front cover. It's the Submariner.
Oh, so not even from the Fantastic Four, like from another thing. Oh, okay.
From a different Marvel, from the beginning.
Yeah, from the very beginning.
From the 1939 one we read.
Yeah. Hopefully they've improved his story. But I don't have a lot of hope. We'll see.